This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Welcome. You are tuned into Walk the Talk, and we have some exceptional information we're going to be providing you today. We want to try to keep you a little entertained here as well. We are broadcasting live from Stockton, California, off of what we call the Miracle Mile. What I like to say is the things that happen here really have global and national significance. Today, we are going to be talking about the things that really matter most in life. We have Mary Nicholson, the founder of Healings in Motion, a 10-plus year dedicated to stroke awareness and also information for caregivers to give them the tools needed. And I'll tell you, just being a caregiver myself, I'm understanding the importance of that as my dad's memory fades here. But as we progress along in life as well, we're going to talk about how you can secure your financial future and also about this topic that makes you feel right at home. And that's called real estate. We are here with Clara Rugnao, and she is with EXP Real Estate, as well as Exertus Financial Partners. And so we have some great information to give to you today, and I want you to think about what was the purpose meant for your life today. And as we go and proceed with that, I want you to consider what actions are you taking to really live your dream and really make your life meaningful. So we have with us Mary Nicholson from Healings in Motion. I want to start this right off. There is a very special event that's happening, put on by Healings in Motion. It is the Brain Health to Beat Stroke Walk. This is a 4th annual walk, and I'm very excited about that as well. I'll be out there, and we have some people with the Side Hustle Business Marketplace that will be out there, as well as, of course, very many people that will be out there walking, running, and also rolling. And can you tell us a little bit about this special event that's happening this Saturday, August 11th? Mary Nicholson.
Tim, thank you for the opportunity to talk about the fact that on Saturday, August 11th, it is Stroke Awareness Day in San Joaquin County, and we're doing the 4th annual Brain Health to Beat Stroke event, and it's actually more focused on prevention and supporting those who are recovering from stroke. It is at the McLeod Lake Park, which is right at the corner of Center and Fremont Street in downtown Stockton, California. And it kicks off at 7:15. That's the kickoff time. Registration starts at 6:45 a.m. We're trying to not only beat stroke, we want to also beat the heat, Jim.
Wow. Well, I want to say that, I know that Healings in Motion has been, is it 12 years now, 12 or 13 years, Mary?
We're in our 11th year.
11th year. Okay, I'm kind of trying to accelerate a little bit. I'm sorry. That was a little bit of a senior moment. But, I want to tell you, this organization is very special to me, especially now. I know I started several years ago with your organization, have been on the board, but also just seeing from two different perspectives. One, wanting the information to be able to get out to the community, you know, for stroke awareness, prevention, and also the caregiver support as well. Not really being a caregiver at that time, not really understanding stroke at that time, but here I am several years later. My dad's memories going and fading a bit. You know, I know he's had a stroke, but also now understanding just why caregivers need the support that they need. It is very exhausting. You know, I've been working with my dad and various things. So is my sister Patty as well. And I just know that there's a lot of energy, and it's not even just a physical time you're taking to helping that person, but it's also the mental space. You're wanting to make sure that person is safe. How can you make them more comfortable? And also how you can just make sure they're taken care of. So I'm understanding that more firsthand. But getting back to stroke here, tell us a little bit about the origin of this walk and why it's so significant to you.
Jim, there is so much confusion about stroke. And for a long time, stroke was kind of swept under the rug. Nobody wanted to talk about it. It was a mystery. And I had a brain aneurysm, bleed, which is one of the types of stroke. The other one is a blockage, which is an ischemic stroke. And I didn't know much about it. And I just felt that having an avenue to educate people and bring the community together, because so many people have lost a loved one to a stroke or challenged with recovering from a stroke, it was a good time to come together, walk for knowledge and for resources, and also to prevent stroke in our community, because stroke is the third leading cause of death in our community. And while for a long time, over the last 10 years, deaths were going down, but now, according to the CDC, stroke deaths are occurring more now than before. And so we really want to increase awareness and reach out to the community for stroke prevention, understanding the interventions, rehabilitation products and services. And also, Jim, one of the unique things is that through our advocacy, all of the hospitals in San Joaquin County, all 7, are now primary stroke centers. And all of the stroke coordinators will be at our event together. This is a first time event for any place that I know, and it's to Healings in Motion's credit that we're bringing communities together, bringing resources together in San Joaquin County and Stanislaus County.
That's exciting. And I'll tell you, you know, I like to pull things together here, you know, and so with that, we have Clara Rugnao, and the most important real estate that you could have arguably is your mind, your body, right? Yourself, right?
Of course.
Now, is it okay if I give you a quiz here, Clara? Okay, great. I'm going to put you right on the spot. You deal a lot with real estate professionally in the financial arena, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
Now, here's a question. What in your mind is a stroke, and what is, by definition, a stroke?
Well, all I know is when a stroke patient comes into mind, it's basically something that had happened that they can't function.
Okay. Where does it happen? What is going on? What part of the body is affected because of the stroke?
It's basically the brain.
Okay, so brain. Okay, great. And, you know, the reason why, you know why I bring that up?
No.
Because a lot of people think it's actually with the heart.
With the heart.
Did you know that?
Yes.
And so that's why I want people to be aware. It is not the same as like a heart attack, because the stroke really occurs in the brain. And can you tell us exactly, Mary, what is going on when people are having a stroke?
Sure. There's the oxygen to your brain is blocked, which is the ischemic stroke, or there's a bleed going on in your brain. And that's why it's so important for you to understand the symptoms of a stroke and act on it right away, because the longer the blockage is in your brain, the more impact it's going to have on the rest of your body, because the brain really dictates what the rest of the body does. And so it's no time to waste. We really want to make sure that people recognize the symptoms, call 911, and advocate and get in there and have the best treatment possible, because if you can get to the hospital within a 3-hour window and you don't have a bleed, you may be eligible for this blood clot busting agent called TPA, and the stroke symptoms can be reversed. And so that's something that everybody really needs to know about.
With Healings in Motion, I know you have an incredible story of why basically patient advocacy is so important. Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
My story?
Yes, Mary.
Began, shortly after I lost my husband, and I had a brain aneurysm, and one of the things that was really challenging for me was that I wasn't 50 or anything like that, and everybody used to think that strokes only happen to the elderly, and that's not true. In fact, stroke is happening more and more to people at a younger age. Yes. And so I was looking into it because my background was in broadcasting, and I just really wanted a better understanding. And even though I had many disabilities, and including cognitive damage and physical disabilities, I really wanted to find out what kind of resources were available, and I couldn't find any locally. And so I started putting together resources and having programs, bringing in experts in different areas of brain health to not only educate myself, but to educate other people. And that's how Healings in Motion evolved, doing a regular monthly lunch and learns, a special event for caregivers called the Inner Safari Caregiver Conference. We do a lot of other programs centered around educating the community about the things that we are empowered to do and make a difference at, not only changing our own habits, but also getting stronger and better and not giving up from recovery.
This is very important for people to understand. When somebody is having a stroke, yourself or somebody you love, one of the most important things is to get to a hospital to get a TPA shot, and basically to be able to break the clots, because those extra minutes can make the difference between you potentially fully recovering or being disabled for life. And so we really want people to understand the signs of stroke. We call it FAST, and F stands for the face if the face is drooping. A, if the arms are drooping or limping as well. The S stands for the speech if it's slurred and maybe you can't understand them. And T stands for time. You want to be able to call 911 because time is brain. And also we added to that as well, it's also the B as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what the extra things is that we recently added here for the signs of stroke? Mary.
Sure. A lot of times people suddenly lose balance and have a challenge with disorientation, and that's where the B stands is up there for B, and then E for your eyes. Some people actually lose their eyesight, and it's usually something that's very sudden, and oftentimes it's temporary. But the key word is sudden, Jim. All of a sudden, your legs start to sag on one side. It's not, you can't do the same thing with one side of your leg that you were doing, a few minutes ago. Your speech is impaired, or your arms you can't hold up your arms. Your face may droop on one side. So we have the B for balance, E for eyes, F for face drooping on one side, A for arms. One arm is not the same size as the same, it's not staying up like the other side. S is for speech impairment, and the T stands for time. call 911 and get to the hospital. And the reason why you call an ambulance is because there is now a stroke protocol with the hospitals, and especially in San Joaquin County, where all of the paramedics are now trained to identify the symptoms, and then they call into the hospital to let the stroke team be prepared to meet you, and they start the stroke protocol right away. There's something called door to needle. That means as soon as you arrive at the hospital, they start on the clock to determine whether or not it's a bleed or if it's not, and if you are qualified for the TPA shot. So from the time you hit the door to the time that you get to your CT scan, that's what is measured and what's called door to needle, because then that allows them to either give you the TPA shot or determine that your stroke is too chronic for you to be treated locally. And at that point, within that 60 minutes, a decision has to be made as to whether or not you need to be sent to what's called a comprehensive stroke center. A comprehensive stroke center means that you go somewhere where there's a staff trained in a higher level to treat complications with the brain. And places like Stanford or UCSF or UC Davis even are considered comprehensive stroke centers. And even Jim, the local hospitals as primary stroke centers have a relationship with the comprehensive stroke centers, so that they have either by robot or even by some kind of computer, like not a laptop, but what's the other one that's
iPad?
The smaller one.
An iPad.
That will allow you to see. You can do like a FaceTime.
Yeah,
but they do it in
with a
more
device like an
way.
iPad or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, an iPad. That's the word.
That's if you're Apple. We'll give Samsung the same clearance.
Right. Well, through the iPad, the doctors could actually look at the patient here in real time and determine if you're qualified for the for the TPA shot. So that's called telemedicine, and that's a part of telehealth, which are really important in stroke care. It changed the whole dynamics of stroke care. And now Medicaid pays for stroke survivors to actually be treated by their doctors using that iPad, so that you don't even have to go into the office. So it's not something that everybody knows about, but there's a lot more technology out there that can be utilized in stroke care.
This is really great, and I want to thank you for joining us here, Mary. And, you want to join us this Saturday. It's actually August 11th, starting at 7 a.m. Registration starts. The actual walk will start at 8 a.m. Come meet the other people that will be out there. We're going to have some great resources out there, but really support stroke. I want to also mention that Healings in Motion is an organization founded in Stockton, California, in San Joaquin County. It originated here in San Joaquin County. Is primarily funded within San Joaquin County, and pretty much over 100% of the funds goes directly back into the organization. How can it be more than 100%? Well, there is blood, sweat, and tears of people that are laboring to make great things happen. The money they personally put in for this cause. So the money does not leave the geographic area; it stays within the area, and it really does support stroke. So come out again. Mark your calendars. August 11th. Come out. Join us for the walk. Register for the walk. You can go to healingsinmotion.org and find out more about the walk. Come and participate this Saturday, August 11th, starting at 7 a.m. registration. And join myself, the Wokstar, Mary Nicholson, and also the other people that will be out there within the county as well. Anything else you'd like to add, Mary?
There is a Champions Walk for survivors surviving from stroke or any other brain-related illness. We really want to support all of our champions in our community, and we have medals and trophies and other prizes that will be provided to support those who help us. This is a major fundraiser for us. Most of the things that we do throughout the year are free, believe it or not, but the only way we can make them free, because everything that we do proudly is of high quality, and we can only do it with support. And so I'm for those who cannot come out and walk, we really would appreciate it and encourage you to go to healingsinmotion.org, and there is a link to register, but you can also go on that link and make a donation to Healings in Motion, or just come out and be supportive.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you
Jim.
so much. Thank you for joining us. Again, go to healingsinmotion.org to find out more information about stroke prevention. And there is also a CV RAPS program sponsored by Healings in Motion over at St. Joseph's Medical Center. And that is once a month, every fourth Tuesday of the month, starting at 12:30 to 2. You can find out more information about that. CV RAP stands for Central Valley Awareness Recovery. Wait, I always mess this up. Central Valley Recovery Awareness Preventing Strokes. Preventing strokes. It's part of the Asian that gets in the way sometimes. Yeah, learning English, you know. But it's Central Valley Recovery Awareness Preventing Strokes program, and there's a great meal sponsored by St. Joseph's Medical Center. Dignity Health is there, and so that's every fourth Tuesday of the month. But again, come join us August 11th for the walk and show your support, and together we can beat stroke. Thank you so much, Mary, for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And, continuing along with the message, there is a book that you're seeing if you're on Facebook or Periscope or one of the other social media platforms. It's called Breaking Barriers, Decisions that Elevate People from Ordinary to Extraordinary. The first book was released this year, and I will tell you, I'm very excited. Jim Stovall had provided, of course, the foreword. Roger Palmieri had provided the preface, and Jim Stovall is an exceptional person. He actually is blind, but he's done a lot of major motion pictures on major film sets. His last movie had Raquel Welch. His first movie had James Garner, and he actually runs what's called the Narrative Television Network, which is basically the TV for the blind. And when you think about this, the audio for the blind. But this book is all about breaking barriers, so how appropriate to have him write the foreword to this. But it's 22 exceptional authors telling their stories about basically breakthroughs they needed to make to be able to forge ahead and do something great, or even some people in the book are just on their way to doing something great, but their stories have actually inspired a lot of different people. Just hearing different people that have heard their stories, very relatable with just different people's stories just across the spectrum in life. And so we encourage you can go to Amazon to pick up that as well. But talking about that book, we are going to be also having a celebration party over at Elk Grove's Logan's Roadhouse on August 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. Come join us. Come meet some of the authors. And also we're going to be launching the call for authors for Breaking Barriers 2, Never Give Up, The Power of Perseverance. And with me here is Clara Rugnao, who's also going to be one of the authors in the book. And I know you have an incredible story as well. You've been a realtor for how many years?
Since 2002.
Wow, 2002. So that's over 16 years. And also you're with Exertus Financial Partners as well as eXp Realty. And I'm so excited to have you here. Of course, the financial arena is something I have in my heart. I have a money show on Money 105.5 FM in Greater Sacramento. And I like to say that money does drive everything that we do.
Sure.
For instance, I think about the decisions we make, right? If you have a lot of money, how many choices do you have, Clara?
You have lots of choices.
And what about if you have a little bit of money?
Probably zero.
Yeah. If you have a little bit, you have some, but what if you have no money?
Basically, you have no choices.
Yeah. And even worse, what I say, the choices are chosen for you.
Exactly.
What you're able to do, what you're allowed to do
Right.
is dictated by the fact that other people have to make those decisions.
Right.
And so it is a very important topic, and I know Stockton has seen its ups and downs, and we're going to talk about some of the solutions for your life to plan for your financial future. But I want to start with real estate and just bring it on home, as we say. But you've been an agent for many years, and
yes.
definitely over a decade, almost a decade and a half.
Yes, I've seen the market when it was way up here, and then from here it just dove all the way down, and then now it's up here where it's a very healthy market, and it's a great market right now, I can say.
Well, great. So you've seen the down point. A lot of people know about the bubble.
Yes,
right before the bubble,
yes.
Stockton was a place to go, and then the bubble happened, and it became Stockton became the major foreclosure place in the nation.
Of course, yeah, and that was really an eye-opening for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know,
And how long have you been a resident of Stockton?
since 1977.
Okay, wow, for a long, long time.
So this is my home.
What were you doing prior to being a realtor?
I was in a medical field.
Okay,
A
really?
Filipino, Jim. So, you know.
Oh, that's right.
I gotta.
That's
you know,
right.
We're born to be in
That's
that
right.
field.
Or that or a caregiver.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes,
or
yes.
an accountant.
Or an engineer.
Okay, or an engineer. That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
So now, what got you into real estate?
It was basically I came back. I went to school in the Bay Area and then came back to Stockton, and of course, you know, I really wanted to be in the Bay Area. Could not afford anything there, so when I came back to Stockton, I was continuing my medical profession.
Because you're Filipina, right? So that's why you
Pinay,
were doing your
yes.
medical profession,
Yes,
right?
that was my mother's dream, living through me.
Oh, okay.
That's
Great.
everybody, I think. Sorry, guys, but you know, it is the truth.
One other profession, a singer, karaoke singer,
Okay,
right?
now that I no.
Okay, you didn't get that.
I
gig.
didn't grow up with karaoke. I'm sorry. So anyway, so then I end up working at restaurant. I was a restaurant manager at the time when I came back here, trying to get back into the medical field, and then I've decided one of my waitress told me, I think you should. She was going through real estate, and she was so
Yes.
inspired. You know, she's also she's from Mexico, so she had a lot of challenges as well. So we kind of have a similar background, and my dream was to own my own home, you know, my own house. So it intrigued me, and so I went to it, and I'm loving it.
Great. And so, how many people have you been able to help? Average.
Oh my gosh, I would say on my good years, I would say about 30.
Wow, that's
you
great.
know. So, you know, it all depends, you know.
Now, I'm excited to know that you're with EXP Real Estate.
I'm with EXP Real Estate.
Yeah. And so I know EXP has a different model. It's a virtual model.
Yes.
And I know that, you know, of course, Exertus Financial Partners, the financial company we're going to be talking about here,
Right.
also is in line with what EXP is
Yes.
doing, right?
Yes.
And so you're, as a realtor, helping people find their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love this other part. On the other side, in the financial arena, you're helping people make the money and protect their home.
And protecting their homes.
And also really just making sure they have a plan for their financial future.
Exactly, and protecting their assets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of those assets actually is your health. And it's kind of great that we got that show with Mary today.
Yeah.
You know, lots of education, you know, and coming into the financial arena, it's been so much education. And I feel like I know so much more than when I was with Exertus.
Yeah.
You know, and it's actually helping a lot for me to understand how money works and investments and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you feel like it obviously complements what you do as a
Of
realtor.
course. And the service that I give to my clients, it's even more rather than just the real estate part of it. Now I could add more, you know, in educating them, and this is what we need to do. Let's take this into consideration, you know, and things like that. And I'm really happy.
So when you think about real estate, as we just kind of close that part off, but I want to ask you, just what is going on in the real estate market today? I assume it's a good time to buy because when everyone wants real estate, the price goes up, right?
Right, exactly.
And so really that's not necessarily the time to buy, or is it from an investment point of view or home buyer's point of view?
Well, it all depends. I mean, I think it's always a good time to buy, honestly. If you are renting, you're basically paying for somebody else's mortgage. So even if the market is here, I mean, take a look at how much you're paying for your rent. Wouldn't it be so nice if that house is yours or you're paying for your own mortgage instead of paying your landlord's mortgage for that property? So, and that's what I tell my clients, any time is a good time to buy.
So I was just kind of laughing to myself. I was thinking any time is a good time to buy, especially if you're living under,
Yes.
under just a roof and no walls. You just find a gazebo somewhere, right? You want to get a home. But what are some special offerings that are happening right now?
With the market right now, it's a very healthy market. And there are so many resources that you can use, such as down payment assistance program. There's still a lot out there, and
Explain how the down payment assistance program works.
Okay.
Who should use it, and what does it
basically
provide?
first-time home buyers, because those are the most challenging people. They always say, oh, I don't have any money. I don't have no down payment, things like that. But you know what? There is a lot of resources out there. You just have to look. You just have to find someone like me who's very resourceful. I could.
And you are resourceful. I can vouch for that.
Yes,
getting to know and see how you work with people.
I do. I always try and find things for my clients, even though I don't have those type of clients right now. I educate myself in trying to help everyone, not just one type of client. So, with that said, I do find ways to get my clients help. If they came to me and said, I don't have no money, Clara, what can I do? Boom. I will research. I will find someone that might be able to help them find a house or find a financing for them.
And, I will tell you, I remember a while ago in the Bay Area, people were saying, well, I can sell my house. I can find my own house. I would say let the experts do it. You're going to save a lot of time. So going with the realtor is really important. Let me ask you this. I have to ask this question. You can get your license. Just because you have your license doesn't necessarily mean you're a realtor, right?
Right. It's a designation. A realtor is a designation.
Correct.
It's if you're a member of the National Association of Realtors, then you're a realtor. But if you're not, you're just an agent.
I see, yeah. But you have a lot of agents. What's the difference between an agent versus a realtor? Why would you want to work with a realtor?
Well, with being a realtor and you have that designation, you have a lot of protection. As a realtor, you go through a lot more education, a lot more training. The National Association of Realtors, they have the legal hotline to where as realtors, if we have some problem or some kind of something that happens, we could always call the National Association, and we're very, very protected.
Right. Well, I'm excited, just to be talking to you. I want to talk a little bit about just preparing for your financial future, because that's how you protect what you have, but also gain the money you have so you can stay in that home, right?
Yes.
I do have some questions intertwined with real estate, but if you're looking for real estate here, especially in Stockton, California or San Joaquin County, she actually works in other neighboring areas as well.
Oh, yes.
You can contact Clara Rugnao, and if you can go ahead and say your number twice for anyone that would want to reach you.
Okay, my number is 209-430-1067. And again, that's 209-430-1067. And I've had that numbers for years. It will never change. So keep it in your phones. If you don't need me right now, I'm sure, you will need me soon or later. And I always answer my phone. So, and if I don't, I promise you I will return your call.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I believe you because you've returned my call.
Oh,
so
yes.
thank you. But no, and we are both with Exertus Financial Partners. And so it's very exciting just to see this organization literally just skyrocket, you know, with the CEO. I mean, you kind of can look at the CEO, look at his character, integrity. He's had this fight with life, you know, literally beating stage 4 cancer, and you know, having 12,000 agents or members under him at one point in time in the financial arena, and now he's coming out with a vengeance to really help people. And that's what I love about him. The picture is really big, you know. It's with the Exertis Financial Partners. We are talking about none other than
Eric Antonio.
And I have to give props to the most important person in the company. You know who that is? It begins with a V.
Oh, of course. Vilma Antonio.
Yeah, that's the wife, right?
That's the wife.
But, you know, definitely she's, both of them are clinical scientists, which is pretty interesting, that blend. And then, of course, we have Alan and Jean Lorenzo that do a fabulous job as the chief financial and marketing officer. And the woman, you know, obviously, well, like you said, you know, in accounting, that makes sense, right? Filipino as well. but in all sincerity, a great company with literally you know, we call it simply the best solution in the industry. We can prove it. It's rated that way. But I am just jumping with joy all the time when I know that we are actually in Columbus Life's annual report. 108 plus year company. I want to give it accolades because in just less than a couple of years, we are actually very prominent, and we are number 2 in terms of top production, and we're gunning for number 1.
Exactly, and we're so proud that we are representing a great company. You know, and anyone could Google them, and we don't have to worry about anything else that comes with that. So.
And I am very excited to be able to help people. What I love about this industry, you know, I know myself, I've been going through some different challenges, so I see the end result and I take it really personally in terms of, wow, I understand, you know, just going through life's challenges the last few years too myself, but understanding, hey, I know the path. The good thing is I see real clearly the things that need to be done, and even the things that I don't know, because we don't know everything, right? But the whole thing is I have people I just ask the question. And so that's what I love about it. And so just really helping people with what we call living benefits. And this is really important to understand, guys. Many people, I want to talk about the protection aspect of things first, okay? Protection is simply insurance, right? Very simple. We pay a little bit of money. Let's say you have a husband and wife, right? And let's say it could be either way. Both of them, let's just say they both get insured. That's what should happen anyway. But if the husband dies and they maybe paid, you know, I'm just throwing out fictitious numbers. These are just for illustration purposes, but, you know, around a few $100s, you know, if they're a little bit older, you have a little bit of savings going in. But also what happens is if one of the entities was to die or pass on, the other person might get $500,000. Pretty much income tax free. You know, that's pretty incredible, right? An instant estate.
And we say this all the time. You know, when people, you know, when they hear about life insurance, they kind of close and it's like, oh, it's about death. You know, but I tell you, it's not about death. It's about living and protecting your assets, your family while you are living. And then, of course, when you pass on, you still have that protection left, you know, so that your loved ones are not scrambling for financially just to survive because you're gone. So,
and I want to mention all of these have to deal with having a plan. Because you really want to get things together because you have to qualify with your health to be able to have these sort of solutions. And so from a protection point of view, it just makes sense. I will tell you, you know, just when you have a loved one and let's say something was to happen to you, the husband or the wife, let's say the husband passes away, you know, the husbands, if they are truly in love, you know, they're going to want the wife to be taken care of.
And vice versa.
Know? And I would say just $500,000, a check written out for $500,000 would do that. That would help, you know. And so, in all sincerity, it's just very important to understand the power of insurance. It is just so powerful, and really implement it, you know, and just really understand why you should have it and just the protection needed. Now, there are these things
I
called.
Wanted to mention
go ahead,
Jim. You know, and the product that we offer, you know, our flagship product, it's not just insurance per se. I mean, there's 4 parts to it, you know, and just understanding the 4 parts of our products is amazing. And I think people should educate themselves. And I do invite anyone who's willing to be open-minded and just want to see what our products entails
Yeah.
and what we offer. Call me,
Yeah.
call you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's we have presentations all the time. We could do one-on-one, just to understand what we are talking about, because just talking about it sometimes doesn't do justice. You really have to show it.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I could describe a movie to you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I just won't be able to get the full experience for you. You just have to be
right.
able to really go yourself to check it out. And so we can tell you a little bit about benefits over the air,
Yeah.
but we hope it really prompts you to think about how it applies to your life and
Right.
contact us or somebody that can help you understand.
That can help
those
you on
benefits.
that,
Yeah.
and again, if still, because I know a lot of people is all about trust, people don't want to be pressured into buying stuff. I'm like that, and I do a lot of researching before I make my move. So, we're here.
Yeah.
We'll educate people. I mean, it might not be right for you, but with Exertus Financial Partners, it's not just about people who can qualify for life insurance. We have so many other products that would help people,
That's right.
and just to take a look at their financial health,
Yeah.
if you say.
Well, and I want to talk about these things called living benefits. People
That's
need to understand them. Not too many companies, percentage-wise, really carry living benefits, and we could prove why this is some of the best in the industry, not just some of them. We have other companies we also represent. We could actually
Yes.
provide them.
Yes.
But really, we're choosing Columbus Life because it's one of the best products in the industry. And, living benefits cover a few different things, right? So tell us, just some of the benefits that people might not understand. Now, of course, with just general insurance, all right, somebody passes away, they give you a big check, right?
Sure.
What are some of the other living benefits?
The other living benefits that I can see, like if you were disabled, chronically ill, terminally ill, you could actually access your death benefit as well as the cash value that has been accumulated with your policy. And then, and on top of that, I think this is so great, it's an investment vehicle, so you have to look at it as an investment vehicle, not just a policy per se.
Right. You're investing in it.
you're
It
investing
clearly
in it.
is first for protection.
For protection.
But you have cash value that accumulates.
Which you
Okay.
can use
Yep.
as a retirement
Right.
money.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people already have all their stuff lined up, and I applaud you for that. But for some, they don't. And the best thing about this is, if you invest your money in a life insurance policy, when you take it out, you could take it out anytime, tax free.
Yeah.
So
Income tax free. That's very
income
powerful.
tax free, and it's so powerful. I mean, wouldn't it be so nice if everything that we earn is tax free? But
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way. So with life insurance, because you're already putting money that is already taxed, it becomes tax free.
And if you have any life situation, let's say you get critically ill, you have a heart attack, and it's confirmed with them and everything, you pretty much get a check for a pretty healthy sum to help you
Sure,
defer the
yes.
cost. Or if you get chronically ill, if you need long-term care, if you truly need
Yes.
long-term care
Long-term
assistance,
care.
you can pull out some of the benefit while you're alive. And I love that. And I think about this here. I think about the fact that if I know I'm going to go, and let's just assume I have $1 million policy, how nice would it be to pull out a couple $100,000 just to enjoy life?
Sure.
And
With
I'm
your loved
sure,
ones.
the kids would want that as well.
Yes.
And know that, the people you love are taken care of after that
After.
as well.
Yes,
That's what it
definitely.
really means. And, in life, there are a lot of different stages we can go through. We can go through the part where we just need to survive. Then we go to the part where we need to sustain.
Right.
Then we get to the part where, we can be successful and have the money, but then we can go from success to significance. But
Right.
usually people that really have a significance, they have to have money. Money plays such a crucial role
Yes,
to leave
yes.
a good legacy with your family.
With your family,
right?
yes.
And, it's tough because I want to tell you, I've seen certain people, like when they have somebody, they had to struggle through it. You know what they remember? They remember the struggle. Oh my gosh, so-and-so passed away. My dad passed away, and man, it was difficult. It was difficult, but I'm so glad that we are out of the situation. Of course, my dad, I love, but people, they have that feeling of relief, and it shouldn't be that way.
Of course.
And,
yes.
can you imagine if, let's say, the dad left like, wow, and I have $500,000.
Right.
You know, it's such a great memory.
It's
of
just
that
way
person.
too many people close to me that had that happen.
Yeah.
And it's very, very sad. Very, very sad. So, lastly, that I wanted to say is that for my fellow realtors out there, since we are an independent agents, we don't have 401ks, we don't have planned retirement. I invite you to come and take a look at this of what we offer. Call me, and I'll be more than happy.
And go ahead and say your number one more time here,
My
Clara.
number is 209-430-1067.
Okay, and she's tagged here also on this video here on Facebook and Periscope. But also, my name is Jim T. Chong, the Wokstar. You can go ahead and Facebook message me as well on Facebook, Jim space T space Chong. And also, you can reach me at 925-860-9777. That's 925-860-9777. And, we just want to make sure that you're taken care of.
Yes.
We covered a lot today. We covered a lot about a great event that's happening locally here in Stockton, California, a nonprofit of over 10 years. We talked about real estate, the importance of finding the right real estate, kind of where the economy is, and, of course, taking care of yourself with some of the best solutions in the industry. So with that, do you have anything else you'd like to add today as we conclude the show?
I think that everyone should be thinking of what we talked about today, and again, I'm open to discussions one-on-one. We have local presentations of what we do. You're welcome to join us.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Clara Rugnao, again, is one of the authors also of Breaking Barriers 2, and that title is going to be Never Give Up, The Power of Perseverance. And so as you go ahead and advance in life today, I want you to consider a few different things. I want you to consider what got you here today, but an even more and equally important question, why are you here today? Why are you at where you're at in life? And I want you to consider just what are the things that you want to achieve, what successes, what significance do you want to have also in other people's lives? And as we end today, I hope we've given you some great practicals for you to consider. And we want you to think about the fact that, a lot of times we can say a lot of things. And I want to leave you with this. This is Wokstar Walkism 215. It says, there are times you should believe not just what people are saying, but what they are not saying.
Exactly.
Plan your life well. Live long and prosper. This is Jim T. Chong, the Wokstar, and
Clara Rugnao.
And you've been listening to Walk the Talk on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. Peace out.